Hello students, this is Mrs. Moore. Welcome to ELA Summer School 7. This is lesson 3.2, so week 3, day 2. And I have for you, if you look here, you'll see that you're reading an article about Musk's plan to send 1 million people to Mars and start a new civilization. So again, I thought that this article and this whole idea was interesting and funny in some ways. Again, how I wish we were in class and we could really talk about this together, because I'm sure some of you would have very passionate ideas about whether this could happen or not if you're a science or science fiction buff. But Elon Musk, I had heard of him, of course, as a billionaire businessman, kind of an eccentric guy, eccentric meaning path. And I had seen a picture of him in an entertainment magazine with his wife, and they had just had perhaps it was girlfriend, had just had a baby, and the baby had a very weird name. And I, of course, looked at that and thought, oh, what a bunch of weirdos, you know? So then to realize that this was this guy's plan, it kind of made me laugh that, yeah, this is a guy who would name his son X132, whatever he named him. So what you're meant to do is read this, and then you are going to write a paragraph which is answering the question, Elon Musk thinks people should plan to live on Mars, but some scientists disagree. Which side makes a stronger argument? Why? Provide evidence from the text to cite your response. So first of all, the way this article is laid out is you have the whole concept of this paper that billionaire businessman Elon Musk has written, proposing that humans colonize Mars, and talking about the cost of it, etc. And then you have scientists' reaction to it. So you're going to be looking at those two different articles. So a couple things occurred to me. I just want you to think about. I wonder if any of you would think of this kind of colonization as being a little bit like what you've talked about in history class, and you will talk about in 8th grade next year, of people from Europe coming to make colonies in America, because it was expensive. Maybe it wasn't $300 or $10 billion a person. Yikes. I think a lot of things I'd want to spend $10 billion on, but not going to Mars. I would probably pay $10 billion not to go to Mars, because it just sounds scary, and there would be aliens there, and they would, you know, suck my brain out, and I wouldn't care for that very much. I've seen the movie Alien. If you've never seen that, you should ask your parents if they think it's appropriate for you this summer, because it's really intense and scary and kind of a great classic film at any rate. But I wonder if you would draw those connections, because it was expensive to sail across the sea. And Musk makes the argument that it could also be a chance for people to become wealthy, being some of the only on this planet, because they wouldn't have as much competition for jobs, and they could build businesses. And we know that's why sometimes people came to America. They wanted a chance to become wealthy. Maybe their older brother inherited the family fortune, and they wanted a chance to distinguish themselves. It's also an adventure in the same way, crossing an ocean, going to a new and unknown world. Really, there's a similarity here. Also, the idea that he says in the article, now I'm not a scientist, but he thinks it would take about 30 days to get there. And think about the fact that it took months to cross the ocean, provided you had good weather. And so there's a similarity, I thought, that was pretty, I don't know, interesting, and gave the story another layer of meaning for me. Now, when you read what the scientists have to say, I wonder if you'll chuckle, because they think he's kind of a doofus, to be honest. In fact, I even drew a little man. Can you see him rolling his eyes? That's my little man rolling his eyes, because the scientists clearly think Elon Musk is a few crayons short of a full box, of a full set, if you catch my drift. But you know what? The world needs eccentric dreamers, right? So why don't you guys think to yourselves, you know, would you like to go to Mars? Again, if you build a spaceship, don't save a spot for me because I'm not going to get eaten by an alien. No, thank you. But enjoy this article, and I will see you next time. Toodaloo.